What is real? How do you define that reality? If you define reality under what you can see, what you can feel, what you can touch, reality is nothing more than electromagnetic impulses interpreted through your brain. What is truth? How do you find truth? How would you cut it out of them? And if you do, what if the parts you cut out does not fit to the parts you already got? Is there something as base reality? Are we just hallucinating everything? Did Atlantis truly exist, or did Plato just make things up? Is Graham Hancock just a kook who tries to get attention, or is he truly speaking from a deep spiritual experience? Did Jeffrey Epstein truly kill himself, and what are the implications if he did not? Is God truly real? Can we truly experience him in this life, through our body, in our minds? Or am I just an idiot who just talks into a camera, awkwardly, while people keep staring? There are so many signs in life, and honestly, I have no idea what this means. Am I walking this way just for myself? Or is anyone actually interested in what I'm about to say? Do I actually believe in God? Does anyone actually really do? My goal is to ask questions. As many questions as possible. And mostly uncomfortable. Is there true meaning in anonymous? Are we just trying to trick each other? Am I trying to trick you? Do I know the answers to any of these questions? No, I really don't. Maybe I can ask other people. Maybe we can find out together. You see, I'm not just trying to make another dumb YouTube video. I'm trying to make a podcast, a platform where people can speak the truth. And what better place to find people to speak the truth than on the Camino de Santiago? Are aliens real? I don't know. Consider the implications. Aliens truly were real, and we believe these stories about Indiana Jones. And if you're thinking about the last one, the Aztec, that was so horrible, I have to disappoint you. I'm talking about Indiana Jones 5. The new one is coming out. It's going to be about the Glocke. The Glocke was apparently the UFO that the Nazis built. Just think for a second, if that would be true. That means that aliens made contact with Nazis, not despite, but maybe because of what they were doing. I want to ask you if you really want to live in such a world. Do you want to really believe that the Nazis made contact with an alien species despite the horrors they were perpetrating? This is a deep fundamental question which really cannot be answered, and it is so uncomfortable to ask that many people just never ask themselves if that could even be a possibility. So let's just assume it was all true. That means that these aliens, they don't really care about anything. You could be a mass murderer as long as you have the right intention as the aliens would dictate. You're free to go. Mass murderer, suicide, okay, that's not a real crime. But I think you get the point. I don't think we should walk away from such questions. I think it's really important that we create this belief system in us, even though we don't have to believe it for the moment. We need to believe it in order to really feel what it means. Is there such a thing as good and bad? Are we just puppets on a string in suspension? Again, I don't have the answers. These are the questions I want to ask people. And if you don't have the answers, maybe you would be interested in seeing what these answers lead to. Because I know most people will call me crazy, but I actually do believe that there is a disclosure going on right now, that we are about to be taught that our history is nothing like we think it is. And this does not mean that the Holocaust never happened. Of course it happened, but it totally changed how we should or must feel about it. About people that are willing to depopulate a whole population for the sake of Reinheit. It is something that we would consider truly sick, but apparently, if you believe them, the aliens had no problem with it. Far from it, there are many people that believe that the aliens are still experimenting on us, and that this whole universe is nothing but a big experiment about experience, no matter if it's good or bad. Just the pure psychic experience that we manifest into the universe is like food for the gods. And all these Jews that were burning in the fiery oven, their smoke rose to the heavens and pleased the alien overlords. I don't know if any of this is true. I don't even know if I want it to be true. These are horrors that we cannot even conceive with our little brains. But again, these are questions that are hardly asked. Are aliens real? Why is the government hiding this from us? Wow, that's our. Why aren't the aliens just coming down and say, hey, we are here? Is there purpose from keeping us in the dark? Are we not capable of handling such information? And that really speaks to the hubris of man, that we think that we already know everything, and that there's nothing more to learn in this universe, that we know the basics and we just have to keep moving forward. Whilst thinking otherwise, you would assume that we know nothing, that we are children on a planet that is probably not even ours, and we don't know how to even express our feelings about this. I want to take you on a journey with me together to ask these questions to people all around the world, to see what they have to say about it. If other spiritual guidance or religions can teach us something about how we would handle a situation where aliens actually made contact. And please consider, most people consider aliens to be peaceful and all-knowing, but if we assume that they were present during the Second World War, we would assume that they don't really care about us. They may have counted every hair on your head, but if you murdered someone, would they even shrug a shoulder? Or consider the following. Knowing what we know, that people matter, maybe sacrificing people to these gods is what brought them down here. Just imagine the implication that throughout history humans have been sacrificed to honor and bespeak the gods. What if that's reality? What if the gods need substance, our soul, the ultimate coinage? Where are these questions leading me to? What is the path that I need to go to get answers to these questions? I don't know that. Probably no one knows, but maybe we can find out. Maybe you and I can go on a spiritual journey together. Because I don't think that most people realize what this great invention of YouTube actually is. Just a few years ago, when I was a kid, I would have dreamed about this, broadcasting myself to the whole internet. That would have required a show and a manager and gatekeepers, and now this is all open for everyone. But it seems no one really knows how to do it, and everyone that did it just keeps speaking in these riddles, because no one really wants to tell you how to succeed in life, because if everyone succeeds in life, no one will. So what is this all? Is this all a dream, a simulation? What is this life? I believe so. I believe we are living in a simulation, that everything around us is just programmed by our consciousness. And I'm not alone. There are many scientists who would agree with me. Not really on the rest of what I have to say, but on the principle that this universe could not be real. And if it's not real, maybe there are rules we can bend or even break to achieve what we want. They say fortune favors the bold, not the nice, not the kind, not the just. The people that grab life at its sack and just squeeze it until everything comes out. Is that a teaching we want to apply to our children? Just grab life by the nuts and never let go? Is really what happiness is? I don't think so. I think happiness requires other people. You're only truly happy when you have people around to share it with. And I think we have all experienced this throughout the pandemic, that we are just alone. Not just in this world, in our mind, in our body, that no one really understands us, that we just don't have the time or the place to figure things out. But I think I found such a way. The Camino de Santiago is a truly unique experience that I think anyone should ever make in his life, because it is not just a trekking path or a pilgrimage. It is so much more. You can walk it just like you want it. If you want to drive, you can drive. If you want to ride, you can ride. And if you want to sleep in a tent every night, you can do that also. So the question remains, what are you going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk the Camino del Norte probably in the next year, and I'm going to film it. Trying to film as much as possible, talk to as much people that I can find, to ask these questions, to really dig deep and feel something, to get a connection with each other. Something I truly believe we have lost in this pandemic, and that is not just regained by wishing it, but by working for it. I'm not trying to be a guru, I'm not trying to be a leader, I'm trying to be an example. Not a good example, probably. Maybe just a bad example on not how to do things. But I still believe that this would be a valuable content for a lot of people to see that this world is not a scary place. You're not going to die of terrorism. You're probably going to fall in your home and die there. So, what does it matter if I die here on the Camino? At least I capture it on video for eternity for you to laugh at. Because I don't believe in fate. I've been trying to catch fate all my life, trying to find meaning in actual miracles that I've witnessed, but that only seem to leave me more empty. This world is a random, chaotic place with little love to find. But maybe there's a way I can channel my ideas, the vision in my head that I have for this world, and share it with the world, that you can learn something from it. So let's be reasonable. It's going to cost quite something to get me there. Not much. I don't need a lot of money for health experience and expense travel. As I'm told before, I'm trying to sleep in a tent as much as possible, get the cheapest albergue, probably going to cook my food with other people so I can get the most out of this experience. And maybe with your donations, this reality can become possible. And I know it's totally weird to ask for money up front, but I can definitely tell you that this video will probably be doesn't be monetized. Or let's say that I won't get many sponsors for such a content asking such provocative questions. So this is the catch. Either some of you will sponsor the money for this crazy trip, or I don't go at all. But I don't want to get hung up on the finances so much, because the Camino de Santiago is actually really cheap, and if you really cut your corners, you can stretch a lot of a few bucks, a lot of miles. So let's hope that this message reaches some people that are curious about a guy that has little to no experience in traveling the world and asking the most uncomfortable questions. This will and that, I think, means that there are secrets we are never meant to discover, truth we are never meant to understand. But that doesn't disturb me from asking these questions, because I think they bother me, and I think they also bother many of you, that keep you awake at night. So let's hope that this message can lead you to an understanding that I'm not trying to fool anyone, I'm not trying to rob anyone, I'm just trying to really be truthful to myself and others in discovering what this reality actually means. And if there's such a thing as God or the truth.